Welcome, it's Cydney Sullivan with Social Superstar Secrets and Millionaires Academy, and today I'm very excited to introduce you to my friend Jomar Hilario. Welcome, Jomar.
Yeah, thanks Cydney for having me.
So I'll tell you all how we met. I went to an outsourcing retreat that John Jonas put on in Boracay, the Philippines, which is a beautiful island. And it was a big trip for me to go all the way from Australia to the Philippines, but I was so glad I did because we got to really experience a completely different culture and go over to a country that's so different from the US and Australia, where this series will probably be mostly listened to. And I actually got to meet my outsourcing team, which was really fantastic and gave me great insight into the conditions they're dealing with when it comes to things like internet connection and, just travel times and that kind of thing. And while I was at the retreat, I met Jomar. And he actually teaches Filipinos around the world who have had to go leave their families and go and work in other countries, and there's a lot of them working around the world. He teaches them how to set themselves up on the internet for careers, and Jomar will tell us all about that. But Jomar and I just bonded immediately, and we've stayed friends all this time, and we're very excited to actually be able to bring this information to you as a project together, aren't we, Jomar?
Yes.
So let me let you go ahead and tell us your story.
Sure. Okay. Welcome, everyone. I have a question made by other people to me. I'm called the Tim Ferriss of the Philippines, and people are going to ask me, why am I called Tim Ferriss of the Philippines? So the reason is because I earn in dollars, quote unquote, because I really mean any currency, and I spend in pesos. So $1 is not one Filipino peso. Is actually 40 Filipino pesos. So if I earn from foreign sales, I spend it, and there's a lot of value for me. Now, I want you to show you that $4,000 a month is already plenty if you live in a place like Manila, the city where I am in. Now, to give you a perspective, guys, gross annual wages around the world looks like this. Australia is 22,000. US is 15. This is US dollars. In the Philippines, the gross annual wage minimum is $2,000. So personally, I spend business and personal expense of $4,000 a month. And this is a Filipino speaking. So I'm showing you my expenses, business and personal, because I'm actually making more of this, which is twice the annual minimum wage in this country. So it's called geo arbitrage, if you're familiar with it. Spending in a currency that's high value than the one you're earning in. So that's an experience by Tim Ferriss. And when I was employed, I was a bank employee. Also I was employee of a consulting company. I took 6 vacations a year while employed. My bosses were angry at me because, why are you always taking vacations? But I would always do it. Okay, now. And I've been outsourcing to virtual assistants. When we say virtual assistants, we say, Cydney, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Yeah?
Yes.
I'm going to say the word VA instead of virtual assistants because that's what we use here. I've been outsourcing to virtual assistants since 2005. Okay? For those of you who recall, the book, The 4-Hour Workweek, came out in 2007. So I didn't know anything about virtual assistants. I just did it. I hired people to work for me without seeing them. So here's a short story of that. If you were familiar with these faces, upper left hand, Joseph Clay, right hand, Stephen Curtis Chapman, bottom is Australia's Ruben Morgan of Hillsong. Now, this is their Facebook pages. Since you can't read them, let me show you. There. Joseph Clay has 400,000 likes. Hillsong has 2 million likes. And Stephen Curtis Chapman had 600 likes.
600,000, yeah.
Sorry, 600,000 likes. These are really big players on the internet today. But in 2005, they came over to the Philippines to hold concerts. Now, specifically, these are Christian rock musicians, born-again Christians. They sing about God. But the Philippines is a Catholic country. Though they're very popular internationally, they're not that popular in the Philippines. But since I love Christian music, though I'm a Catholic, I introduced them to the world but I wasn't the organizer. I was just a volunteer. This is my early days. So I had to promote, for example, the first one was Jars of Clay, to an audience that's huge, okay? These are their names, by the way. And I only had 1 month to promote the concerts. Each one of those 3 concerts, I had 1 month to promote them. And I was a first-timer in internet marketing. I was also working in a bank that time. So the only way I could promote, because I love to promote them, because they're Christian rock musicians, which is what I love to listen to. So this is all passion-based, if you get it. I was passionate to promote this. Yes, I'm going to make money, but I was more passionate about promoting them because of their message. So 1 month to go, what did I do? I went to an internet cafe because I had no internet at home. I was renting a room. And I used volunteers, essentially the fans of these bands, and I asked them to promote online. Remember, I only had 1 month. And I would only do this at night because I was working during the day. Okay, so I hired immediately about 10 people. Yes, I had to pay them to promote for the concerts. And the result was spectacular and growing in spectacular, because this is the venue. It's 20,000 people can fit in this place. This is called the Araneta Coliseum. Wow. And I didn't know it was impossible to fill up a place like this in 1 month's time. Remember, I'm not a concert promoter. I'm just a volunteer. So I had to bring people into this impossible situation for 1 month. And I pulled it off. I got 5,000 on the first try. That's Jars of Clay. Then got 10,000 on the second try. This, again, only 1 month, only using outsourcers. And on the second month, that was Ruben Morgan. And he was literally an unknown in the Philippines because people knew about his band, Hillsong. They don't know who he is personally. And I cannot promote Hillsong because he was coming in as a person, not as a band member. And the third time, we selected a smaller venue for Stephen Curtis Chapman, though he's this big international superstar. And we got 2,000 people who filled up the venue for that. I had zero experience in online marketing or marketing. I was a computer programmer, okay? I knew C language. So since then, I've been running my businesses using virtual assistants. And this is a picture of my life. I always start my presentations this way, asking people to locate my BMW, you know, my mansion. There's none, because the value of my life is mostly relationships and doing this, presenting and helping people. I don't know if you believe me, but it doesn't matter because this is my life.
Hey, Jomar, can I ask you about the concerts? So did you keep doing that, or what ended up happening with all the concerts?
Oh, I stopped. It was a hard thing to organize and to promote at the same time.
I bet.
I can tell you, I was also organizing because the people who did the concert, they were super disorganized. Yeah. And I had this instinct, you should have put signs where the toilets are, you know, stuff like that, because there were no signs. So I had to organize. It was very hard to do. So I stopped doing concerts. Instead, I did huge, even bigger events, not concerts. 10,000 people event. I'm going to tell you about it later. Not concerts, but actually a whole day. Like it's not a paid event. Sometimes it's a paid event. It's like a celebration thingy. Yeah. That's what I ended up doing, promoting. I mean, I didn't do it. It was my clients who did it, but I ended up promoting huge events like 10,000 people, venues and stuff.
So you basically, so what you learned, you were able to apply it to something that was made a bit more sense for you. And I think that's the reality for a lot of us. We find it very difficult initially building a business online, but then the trick is to find something that you really love to do. Like you and I love to teach, so we love to do these things. And then you can be really productive, and then it's a matter of putting the systems in place, right?
Yes.
And building the team.
I also have my own event. Yeah, building the team. Well, I used my old people, you know, the people in Jars of Clay. They were my team for 1 year. And then one person stayed with me and then eventually moved on. And I actually got virtual assistants after I read, you know, formally the book for our work week. But I didn't realize I was doing it before the book came out. So
yeah, and so I guess for people who don't know about virtual assistants, it's like you're building a team of people who might work from their own home or work from an office. So quite a few people
yes,
now are setting up offices in the Philippines, right? So that they can have a bit more control over the internet connections and power and just help their teams have that team support.
yes. In that Boracay outsource retreat, we both met Joel Peterson, right?
Yeah.
I've since met him like 3 times since then because he has an office here.
Mm.
And then every time he'd come over, I'd go to his office. We'd hang out. He's an online marketer also.
Yep, he's a great
He
guy.
has an office of 20 people, 20 people in Manila, and they have a nice office. You know, it's above Citibank, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So in my case, I hire people who are home workers. They're literally in their own houses, and I actually hardly meet them. Almost never meet them. I have like 2 to 8 VAs at some time or another there. So let's move on. Yeah. Okay. Let me just go.
Beautiful. Are those your kids?
So,
Beautiful babies? Are those your babies?
yeah. Yes, those are my babies. I have 3 now. One is too small for pictures. Just newborn.
Oh,
okay. My wife is not there
congratulations.
because she's not showbiz. Yeah, thanks. For those asking, where's your wife? My wife is not there because she is taking the pictures.
Okay, that's her job. Okay.
Obviously, she's taking the pictures, and she's not much of the, public eye thing.
So I guess you'd be one of the people that you'd say that what you love about this kind of business is that you can be home with your kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or do whatever I fancy doing. Believe it or not, I like to surf the internet. So I look like I'm working, but I'm not. I just look like.
Okay, well, thanks for sharing that.
Because I love surfing. So this is my businesses. I do online membership sites. I started with that, which is unusual because when you start off online marketing, you don't do that, but I did. I do seminars about once a month, sometimes never. I do promotion for celebrities. I'll show you more about that. And I also have a mastermind meeting. Okay, I'm also a member of another mastermind or facilitate that. So these are the stuff I do business-wise. So the people I hire are called concierge VAs, which means I hire them not for a specific task. I don't tell them, okay, you're going to make presentations for me. Okay, you're going to do sales letters for me. What I tell them is, I'm going to ask you to do anything I want you to do online. And then if they agree, I train them. That's what I do. Not everybody can do that, but if you do tell the person you'll be flexible, you will be doing lots of stuff for me as long as it's online, then at least you have growth for your talent. You're not just stuck with the person to do video for you only. So that's a concept. This is a concept I made up. Okay, concierge VAs.
Okay.
So for the entire interview, I have this thing in the back of my mind. It's called "Success is the refined study of the obvious." This is a quote from our mentor Jim Rohn, and this is because during I made a presentation for today in Cydney, and some people, when they listen to this, they're just going to say, I know that. They keep saying that. Yes, because what I'm doing, that's why I'm successful, is because I'm refining the study of the obvious. Okay, you already know you have to know your target person, target market. I'm going to show you how I do that, because it's a refined study of what you already know.
Brilliant. Because I got to tell you, I work with a lot of book clients, and it's amazing how many people find that difficult. As much as you can say to them, you really need to know who you're talking to in your marketing.
Yeah.
They still want to talk to everyone. And it's a human nature thing that we want to help, because we're the kind of people that want to help and educate, we want to help everyone. But you really can't be effective unless you zero in on who you're actually, is listening to you, so that you can talk in their language.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. I even failed in that,
Yeah, we all do.
My target market was the wrong person.
so yeah, thank you for that.
The person didn't buy my product at all. My goodness, what a target market.
Oh, well, that's the great thing about the internet, is that you can test. You can test it. If it's not working, then you can change it.
Yes, my virtual assistant was sort of secretly laughing at me because I know who your target market is, and I know he didn't buy from you. But anyway, we can learn. Okay, so let me show you some social media activities that I outsource to my VAs. This is super critical because there are people out there teaching you that you should do everything. Really, very famous people. I'm gonna tell you who it is later. But these are the stuff I actually let my VAs or outsourcers do for me. Ready, Cydney?
Yeah, bring it on.
Sure. Okay. I actually make my own presentations using Evernote. You know, any notepad would do. So my presentation is written on Evernote, one line, one slide, just like what you're seeing right now. So I put all that text in Evernote or email, and I email the whole thing to my VA. Okay, and then the VA creates the entire PowerPoint for me based on text in the right order, and then they use all my presentation rules, which is just like what you're seeing right now. We're using this kind of font, this color, this position. If there are images, I have guidelines on selecting images, no clip art, no ugly people shaking hands, you know. And if they use photos from the internet, they attribute it to the person and stuff like that. All those rules in making presentations, my VAs do it. So that's why I can do webinars every week with a presentation per webinar, right? But I don't do the presentations. My VAs do the presentation for me.
And you were telling me, and I was complimenting you, I really like your slides, and you were complimenting me, you were telling me, sorry, that you've got templates now. You've got, you tell them exactly what fonts you're going to use on a regular basis. So you have that all worked out for your brand, which makes it a lot easier for them, doesn't it?
Yes, and they don't really have to have a hard time looking for images now because I tell them exactly what I like. I give them I ask them to look at my Pinterest so they know exactly what I like.
Great.
Give them actual feel. I'll explain Pinterest later. It's a website for people obsessed with beauty. But I use that to tell my VAs, here, this is what I think is beautiful. You copy the kind of things I like. So that when you make presentations for me, it looks just like I made it. That's my attitude.
Great. Okay?
So that's one thing. And then after that, they upload the presentation to Scribd, which is a slide sharing site, so people can see your slides. So this is social media already. And then if I have clients who need to see the presentation, they do the broadcast email. So here's how it works from my point of view. I made an email with the word Prez. This is the subject of my email, Prez. Email it to my assistant, followed by text. No explanation whatsoever, just that one. P-R-E-Z. And then they will send me the presentation by Dropbox or by attachment. And then I will email them the following words. Live Prez. Okay. So the email doesn't contain anything, just the subject. And they'll just do everything. They upload it to Scribd, email my clients, and basically done. The only thing I did was create the text for the presentation and review the presentation that they did. And that's, from my point of view, how it works. It's very easy.
So have you made up a checklist and everything for them to follow?
Yeah. Yes, I did.
Okay.
I'm even going to tell you how it's done. I'm going to tell you how it's done.
Yay, great. Thanks, Jomar.
Very simple. Even you guys can do this. Now, if you accept payments by bank, and I do, because in the Philippines, in my country, emerging economy, there's no such thing as a PayPal account for each citizen. So people love to use the bank to pay you. So I have to have somebody to reconcile the bank deposits with who's that person doing the deposit. And when they reconcile it, they welcome the person, This is, okay, you can't use an autoresponder or automated system for this. A human being has to do this. So bank deposits reconciled with who the person is depositing, who's the person depositing, and then they have this email that I created that welcomes the person to the product that they purchased. This is very good and very time-consuming if you do it yourself. But they just give me a report in Google Docs, okay?
Okay.
Then after that, when the sales is registered, they create all the sales reports. I ask them to create a monthly report, a weekly report, a master list, so you can see all the customers in one spreadsheet, all of them. So yes, they have access to all my sales. Just like a bank, the teller has all access to the cash. Am I right? The person accepting the money. Yeah, but they don't really say, oh wow, I wish all this cash is mine. Yes, they say that, but they don't do anything about it. So just like in our case, when you have an outsourcer, they do know how much you're making. And there's an instance that I hit I exceeded my 20,000 US dollar, it was a goal. For us, that's $1 million pesos. I exceeded $20,000 in 2 weeks, and I had my assistant tell me that. I didn't even know I exceeded that goal until she told me, because she has access to the master list for the week.
Okay.
Right? So that's sales reports. Creating the sales reports is very, very easy. They just record all the sales, and you do have the copy, to cross-check with PayPal and the bank accounts, so you know if something's missing. Okay. Now, in social media, there are people who Twitter me, who ask questions in comments. There are people who email me asking me repetitious information like, "Where's the venue for your event?" So I create template answers, and I actually train my VAs how to answer them with a close. Zig Ziglar, I always be closing. So
Okay.
they would answer customers' emails, but I will not just say, "Okay, the venue is this place. This is the map." They won't say that. At the end, they'll say, "But here the following people say about this seminar, blah, 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 blah. Would love to see you in the seminar. Click the button below to register." They close. I teach them how to do that. And if your VAs must be teachable, of course. And I teach them that so that if they have to make a new email for a new kind of question, they know how to close it. They'll answer the question and they'll close it. So I'm always closing. I've been doing this since the beginning, since 2005, closing at each communication. Okay. So since we're in Facebook, I have lots of spammers and scammers there in my pages, in my groups. So the task of the VA is also to ban people, I have a strict living room policy. Hey, Cydney, you'd love this.
Okay.
My Facebook page is my living room. My Facebook group is my living room. You don't go to my living room and start shouting, "Hey, please buy my products. Hey, buy my health drink," because this is my living room. So everyone who joins up in my page and my groups, I just tell them, this is my living room. This is no selling. The only person who can sell in my living room is actually me, right?
Okay.
It's a place to learn and interact. Learn and interact. You want to sell to people, you talk to them personally, not in announcing in the living room. So the virtual assistants, they actually instantly ban people. We don't just erase the post. We actually ban them.
Okay.
When they come there and sell. When they come there and just sell, and just...
Yeah, there's a whole trend. There's a whole trend I've noticed at the moment of people, in effect, slapping a poster up in your living room. I've noticed that if you start taking in new friends that you don't know or letting them come to your page, there's a lot of them now that will just try and post their ads on your page.
Yes.
Yeah, and so you just ban them.
Well,
You just say, "That's it, you're out."
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I
You defriend them.
And if you do that, no, I don't befriend them or unfriend them. There is you click on delete in Facebook, and there's an option to ban and delete.
Okay. So you take a
do that.
strong stance.
Yes. We just
Okay.
don't let them stay, because these people don't really know how to do it properly. So they're also not eager to learn, I know they're there to sell. So no need for me to explain, And since it's time-consuming to do this, I let my VAs do it. Especially if you're handling, like, how many pages? 100 pages in groups like me. So it has to be an assistant who will do this for you. So I have a shared calendar. For all of you entrepreneurs out there, this is so smart, because if you just give access to your assistants your calendar and you forget something, they'll remind you.
So which one do you use? Do you use I use the Google Calendar, because I use Google Mail, and it's
just
brilliant.
Google Calendar.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Yeah, it's just Google Calendar. They can see my schedule, including my vacations, because I put it there. So they know that somebody wants to talk to me for one-on-ones. They avoid that. They avoid my vacations and stuff that I put. If I say I'm going to go out of town that day, they avoid that. And if I forget something, I plan to do something, they will, "Hey, you have something coming up tomorrow. Have you prepared?" And that's good, because they also share their calendar to me. So this is how they tell me they're not gonna show up for work. They are human beings, of course. So there are times that they don't want to work, or they can't work because they have personal stuff. So they put in their calendar absent, stuff like that. So I know they're not showing up. But for Filipinos, I hire Filipinos. I'm a Filipino. I hire Filipinos because they're really good, well-educated people. It's actually a global trend nowadays, right, Cydney?
Yeah.
To hire Filipinos because of the way we think is so Americanized. Because of thank you for your
there's
media.
a lot of reasons. I don't know if I can expand on that a little bit, because I have actually worked with outsourcers from a few different countries now, and For me, I love working with the Filipinos for a lot of reasons. One of them is that they're on the same time zone as me, or, very close to the time zone. So
Yeah.
I'm in the sort of Asia Pacific time zone. I'm in Australia. So although I've found some fantastic people in the US, and I do have, outsource teams in the US, they tend to be on a completely different time zone from me, which adds a lot of challenges for us. The other thing is that the Filipinos are very loyal. That's the other thing, is that they'll work with you for a long time, and you put all this training in, and it actually starts to really pay off over time, because they tend to just have what is that? It's part of the culture, Jomar? Maybe you can explain.
Yes. Loyalty. We are
Honesty.
sort of brainwashed an employee mindset. Stick to the company for the longest time. It's also an American concept. After World War II, you want to stay in that company for the longest time, and it's still there. And there's a lot of fear regarding entrepreneurship here. So even if you think, oh, this person is going to take away my business from me, it's going to imitate me, they can't.
Yeah, so you do find that in some other cultures, and you do have to be careful. Like I noticed, I don't want to disparage anyone, but certain cultures where they also do a lot of outsourcing, you find that the first thing they want to know to you is, what's your business model? They'll start asking you, what's your business model, and how does that work, and what's your sales conversions? And they start asking you all these questions about your business before they even start. And the other problem, this is what I can say this publicly, I've heard this from a lot of people who've used outsourced teams, that some cultures, like particularly the Indians, they will say yes to everything even if they don't know how to do it, or even if they know they can't deliver on time. So that can be very annoying for your when you're trying to plan out a business launch, for instance, which I do a lot, because if they say yeah that's no problem, but then they don't deliver, it ends up delaying everything. So you'll find that there's a little bit of that with the Philippines, in that they don't like to have to admit that they don't know how to do things. But they're much more likely to be honest about it. And it's about asking them the right way, isn't it, too?
Mm-hmm. There's a fear there that you my client, I can't do the work. Oh, that's a shame. So the Filipinos actually clam up when you ask them that. Can you do this?
So what's the right way?
Challenge.
What's the right way to ask to get the best result?
Just tell them to be honest. It's not about asking. It's about, I need an honest answer. Can you do this at 3 o'clock this afternoon? Can you show me a partial at 1 o'clock? You see?
Okay.
Just say that. Show me a partial work at 1 o'clock. So I still have 2 hours to work on it personally if you don't really know how to do it. But really, you just tell them, just be honest with me, please. Just say that.
Okay. Great. Good tip. Thank you.
Very easy. Very easy.
Okay.
It's simple. It's obvious.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
It's simple. So, where was I? Okay. You're talking about cultural differences. Yeah, it's very, very important, because culturally, we kind of look up to everybody who's not brown. I'm sorry, but this is how we were made in the last century. So if you walk around Manila and you're not brown, you're white and Caucasian and stuff, people will look at you like you're a movie star. Now, this is reverse racial discrimination. We don't look down at you. We look up to you. Even if you're black, we look up to you. I don't know why, but that's how we were trained for the longest time. So that's your advantage, actually, because we respect you so much. We're just looking at you. We don't even know what your name is. So that's a tendency for us to respect people who are not brown, and also a tendency to impress the non-browns. Weird, huh? But that's life.
Well, yeah, again, it's that whole cultural thing too, and for a long time, the Philippines has been. You guys have all been living on low wages, haven't you? Like, it's expensive to live compared to the wages that you get, so that tends to put a bit of pressure on everyone, and they must watch TV and that kind of thing and see the lush lifestyles of some other countries, and that's going to cause a social divide.
Yes, that's true. We would see poor people in American television and they have cars and houses. That's not real here. You're not poor if you have a car and a house here.
Yeah.
So that's all into benefit for people, entrepreneurs getting virtual assistants in the Philippines. We're super well educated because of the American university system, and we have respect, for authority. It's really good. and also this tendency to impress people. So that's why when there's an event coming up, for example, in my case, my virtual assistants will just tell me about the event because we have a shared calendar, even if I forgot it, sorry. And then they'll do this. They'll create my, what are these? Images I used for my blog. They'll do different versions of the square, rectangular, skyscraper, because that's what they do. They tell me about it and the event, and then they do my media for me. This is using blogs and Facebook. Okay? Then, not only that, I also tell them to post everything about the event in Facebook events, in Ning events, in websites, forums, in the page, there are events there, in the groups, there are events there, and in my wall. So all of this, very essential if you're promoting an event. In my case, I do events like my personal seminars or my client seminars. So they do this. This is time consuming. You should be doing this. You should be asking assistants to do this. Okay? So anybody interested in how to hire virtual assistants or outsourcers? How do I do it?
Yes, very much so. Give us your best tips.
Okay. So it's really, again, it's simple, it's obvious, it's also mindset. Your mindset really matters. And for me, this is funny. Let's see how you evaluate it. I'm sure you're not going to laugh, but it's true. So you're afraid, if you're not outsourcing right now, you're afraid it's not going to be worth it. Okay? Because you might be paying some guy who's not really good, and after 1 month you regret your decision. The other one you're thinking is you're afraid you're going to get a good person or a bad person. At first, you see that I'm applying for work thing, it's good feet forward. What was that? You're making a good impression on the first month, on the second month.
Put your best foot forward.
The virtual assistant.
Yeah.
Yeah, put your best foot forward. That's it. In the second month, you realize you got a lemon. This person was pretending the whole entire first month. You know, so you're afraid that you're gonna do that. You're gonna get somebody who's not good. Okay.
Yeah, it is frustrating when you hire someone, you put all the time in to train them, and then they don't work out. That is frustrating. I agree, and it does happen sometimes.
Yes, that's true. Especially in virtual, it's very easy to be absent. You just stop saying anything to your client as an assistant. No, it's very easy. So there's that risk. Now, there's another factor is you're afraid you're going to get a trustworthy person or not, because let's say you're working with a virtual assistant for like 6 months. You're happy because you've outsourced a lot of stuff. Now you're worried. Can I outsource my PayPal account to this person? Is he trustworthy enough for something this heavy? Or can I outsource my CRM system, like my autoresponder, to this person? You're afraid if it's going to work out long term.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. Okay. So here's what I think is real. The virtual assistant is afraid you might not be a good person.
Yeah.
Okay. If you're always thinking about yourself, but this person is applying to a stranger on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What if you're a scammer, a Nigerian guy? You know, you're not a good person. You're not telling him the truth. He's afraid too of you.
Sure, they might do a whole bunch of work for you, and you might not pay them.
Yeah, and the other one is you might not even be trustworthy because you might not pay on time, because you can pay, right? But you might not pay on time. And a lot of us Filipinos were dependent on single salaries. So if you get a VA, they're going to be dependent on that money that you give them as a salary, okay? And if you don't pay on time, and I've heard stories like this, the virtual assistant managers withholding the money, so they're not going to they can't leave because you haven't paid them, okay? You're always late in paying. So they're scared of that as a virtual assistant. So essentially what I'm saying is you're both scared of each other. So what's the solution? You just tell each other this. Hey, I'd like to try you out for 1 week. It's not free. I'll pay you for 1 week, but let's try each other out. Acknowledging the fact that you're scared of each other. Good enough?
Yeah.
Now, you keep doing this for people, now you get an impression of how they really work. But of course, you have to pay them for a week's work. At least you can pick the right person. And there's this rule, right? Hire slowly, fire quickly. So again, it's obvious. Apply it here. So Jomar, do I need to, Cydney, you're asking me, so do I need to get like 1 week trials for like 7 people? Yes. If you're really looking for somebody good, yes. Otherwise, you just can hire the person. It's going to be the same story. Hire one person, try him out for 1 week. You don't like him, you fire him immediately. Just do it that way. Just do
And
it
if I,
that
yeah,
way.
I think you're absolutely right here. I mean, I met these guys a couple of years ago. I met these guys at a conference who had built a $400 million business in a very short amount of time. I think it took them about 7 years. And they had just sold their business, so that was a true value because that's what they sold it for. And I asked them what was their biggest secret. Well, and the first thing they did was they took on a business that nobody else wanted. So they were doing IT systems for the government who were very difficult to deal with. So that was, they looked around for an opportunity and said, let's do the business that other people don't want. And they've done very well with that. But they said that
they were doing what for the government?
They were actually building IT systems for the U.S. government, and most of the other people in the industry, most of the people in the industry had said to them, stay away from the government, they're really hard to work with. So these guys went, well, if nobody else wants them, then that's a great opportunity. So, but the other thing they said to me that had made the biggest difference was that they insisted that everyone who worked for them had to be a champion. And so they said to everyone that they brought in, you're going to go through a trial period, and if you don't make the cut, don't worry, it's just that we only hire the best.
Yeah,
and
that's a great mindset.
And they very much believed in that philosophy that you said, which is the hire slowly, fire quickly, because they put people through a rigorous interview process, and then they would put them through a rigorous training process. And I also met another guy at the same conference who was the CEO of Tata in India, and they had 100,000 employees. And he was telling me that they used the same system. They put them through an intensive training and trial period, and had to just cull. That's the only way you can manage a team that size. So I think even if you're building a small team or a large team, I think you're spot on. You have to be sure that you get the right people in place right from the start and test them out.
Yes, yes. So what you do in work, there's a 6-month probationary period. Do it for virtual assistants as well. So give them like an increase on the 6 months, but you have the prerogative to fire them immediately when they don't work out within the 6 months. But I'm giving you guys actually an idea is to make it less painful for the virtual assistant and yourself to risk out 6 months. Just risk 1 week. When you're finished with 1 week, risk another week, then risk another week. And just try them out until you're happy you're getting a champion. That's great. Thanks for that info. Get a champion. Nice way of saying it.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that with us.
So this is how I hire. Admittedly, not everybody can follow this, but you just get the feel for this, okay? One of my successful businesses is I conduct a seminar. This is online and offline, and I teach people how to become VAs. Specifically Filipinos, I teach them how to become VAs. So in that seminar, there is a assignment to create a blog. This is no ordinary blog. It's a really full-packed blog. And there are tutorials inside this blog, and I ask them to do it by themselves. I don't tell them exactly how it's done. And they have to do all the self-study that they can. Now, when they create the blog, of course, I want to hire some of them, right? Because I train them. So I looked at their blog and their resume, just these two things, mostly the blog. And I look for the following things. You might want to take note when you get a hire VA, make sure the VA has a blog. So it proves that the person really knows, more than the normal person on the internet. I look at how enthusiastic they appear in the blog. Is this a bored person? He's creating his blog, is he bored? Or is he telling me any kind of enthusiasm in the blog? And another way of saying it is, are they having fun when they made the blog? It's obvious sometimes when you see that there are smiley faces there are cartoon characters where there shouldn't be, because they're really having fun. The emotion coming off the blog is fun, which means the person is loving it. He's online, he's loving it. It's not drudgery for him, because a virtual assistant is always online. So you have to have a person who loves doing online work. And then I have instructions in the seminar. So I'm checking, are they really giving attention to my detail? My instructions are just like this. Create a blog. This is the name of your blog. The blog must contain tutorials. Tutorials must be detailed instructions on how to use a software. I check out the detailed instructions. Are they detailed enough? You know, when I say detailed enough, it's like blogging for dummies. Tell me exactly where I'm going to bring the mouse and click the button. So I'm looking for a person with that much attention to detail. Because on the internet, when you do outsourcing, Cydney, you have to tell them exactly what you want because you can't explain to them in person.
Yes.
It has to be very detailed, and they have to pay attention to each detail you give. If you skip a step, they'll skip a step. They won't get it. So you need people like this. Okay, so these are my criteria. I don't even look at their education, their accomplishments, what they did in the past. None of them. None of those matter. It's all about the emotion they bring when they do online work, and the attention to detail. Okay, so that's my criteria.
Okay.
Okay, so if you're interested in hiring these people that I train, this is an aside. Okay, if you want to directly hire them, this is a service I give for free for you guys. Okay, just go to this website and just tell jhilario.com/I-need-a-VA and just fill up the form. That's it. That's everything you need to do if you want to hire these people that I train. You still need, of course, you still need to interview them, of course, and check them out for 1 week, of course. But at least you know they came through my training. And
So this is like more of a service that you offer to the people who do your training, that you'll try to help them find jobs as well?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
But
So,
I really just make them impressive online, so they don't really need my help much, really.
Yeah.
This is just a fringe benefit that they have. I do mention to them that I know people who'd love to hire virtual assistants, but that's really not their focus, because historically I receive like 2 to 3 emails a week telling them, thank you, I got a job online. Thank you, I got a job online. Every week I receive that.
Wonderful.
So they don't really need my help, really.
So what do you teach them to do in the training? Are you going to tell us that?
I just mentioned it.
Okay.
Yeah, I just mentioned it. You make the blog. You see that? The blog.
Yeah.
So that blog, it contains tutorials.
Okay.
A person who has tutorials in the blog is perceived as a what online?
Expert.
You're like,
Yeah.
yes, especially the tutorials I asked them to make. 100-page tutorials per blog post.
Okay, yeah.
Per person. I mean, 10 tutorials per blog post. And that's about, let's say, averaging 100 pages per tutorial. So like 1,000 pages per blog post.
Wow.
It's an expert. And I didn't teach them how to do it. I told them to do it. So if they can do it, they're really good, right?
Yeah, okay.
If they can't do it, they have no blog to show, right? So you don't get to hire them because they can't even show you a blog. So that's really a big bar that they have to go through. They must know how to figure this all out by themselves. And if they do that, they can show it. So the secret really is they must have a blog that's impressive, meaning it has an expert standing, this 100-page tutorial on each blog post. It's more than anybody can make, really. So
it's very intense.
You see that?
Okay.
Yeah, it's very
Wonderful.
intense. So
yeah.
These people take minimum of 40 days to do it, to do that blog. That's the smallest amount of time that I've seen people do that blog, 40 days. And after that, they immediately get hired.
Okay.
So that's really intense. So, sorry. Go ahead, please.
No, that was it. I didn't realize that they. Sorry, I just missed that they have to build the whole blog and all the tutorials and everything. So that's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't even do step by step. They take care of the step by step, because in that VA seminar, I don't spoon feed at all. You have to learn how to do it yourself, self-study. Right.
Yeah.
So
okay,
that's why when I receive the resumes, I don't even glance at the second page, not even the bottom half. I just go and look at the blog. If the blog impresses me, that's it. You're good. If the blog looks like you're bored, I'm not gonna hire you because you look like you're bored doing stuff on the internet. Okay, so that's it. That's the secret there. It's doing that impressive expert blog.
Okay.
And that's just an exercise for them. Okay. So
And of course, if
So
they
there's the
can,
website.
if they can build a blog like that for them, then they can build a blog like that for us, theoretically. I mean,
Yes, of
that's the
course.
idea. Because most of us need a
Yes.
blog like that, don't we, to position ourselves on the internet these days?
Yes, especially if you're in the expert space, you know,
Mm-hmm.
you need a blog like that. That's super impressive. On with just 10 blog posts, you're already impressive. Okay,
Okay.
and that's the bar that they have to go through. So
Okay, wonderful.
that's it. Wow, thanks. So this is a question you gave me. You know, what social media practices work for my business? So I'm going to show you. Now remember, when I figure out what works for me, I ask the VAs to do it. Repeat, repeat, repeat. So I'm going to show you internally how it works. I suppose this is going to be different from most of you because I'm really going to bring you inside my business. Not even you, Cydney, has seen this.
Great.
Really, really inside. I'm not going to give you tips. I'm going to show you how it works inside,
Oh, thank you.
not just tips.
Thank you.
So here's something you experienced personally. I don't know if you've opened it. If I have a membership site, all the people in my membership site gets yearly a video birthday greeting from me. A video birthday greeting. So let me just let me show you. I use jibjab.com and it
Okay.
allows you to plug in the face of the person
Okay.
in the video. And actually, if you go to Cydney's Facebook right now, you'll find a birthday video there, and there's her face, roller disco. Now, this is to make a big impression on somebody else's birthday. You're not personally connected, but you use their face in a video. It really shows that you're taking your time to greet them. Not just
Yeah.
happy birthday,
Love it.
not just happy birthday and stuff like that. Just it's a personalized way of showing, hey, you're my customer. I spent this time to make a video for you. But of course, I have my VAs do it.
Yeah, good.
I
Okay, good.
select the videos, and then they just insert your face in, and then the video will dance, with your face and stuff. Happy birthday to you, and so like that. I'm still working this out. This is not a perfected system, but I know that as you grow old, less people will greet you, but because there's Facebook, more people remember your birthday, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I have to go above what they say. They give you images, they give you happy birthday greetings. I have to make a video, and I have to put your face in the video.
Yeah, I
To give
really
you a
love that. I love that you're covering this because we use birthday Facebook campaigns and stuff as well, because that's a kind of a fun way of getting out to people. Make them an offer on their birthday, and
Yeah, you're right.
and then the other thing is, because so many people are having birthdays now, I mean, as my Facebook group gets bigger and bigger, every day I've got to wish people happy birthday. And I've been thinking, I need a clever, fun way to do it, because you don't want to ignore their birthdays, but you want to stand out, as you said, because, I mean, I got hundreds of birthday greetings. So you have to,
Yes.
but there were only very few that really stood out, like yours.
Yes. And we normally don't even do this in Facebook. No, you email you privately, so only you can see it.
Ah,
This
okay.
is not a promotion for us. This is not a promotion for us. This is a person-to-person thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I just put it in Facebook so you can see it personally right now if you're watching this, and you can if
Okay.
it's still there. But really, it's just the person seeing that, so it's a more personal approach. Okay, and I actually select the videos, so there's still me involved. I just don't let the VAs select any video that they want.
Yeah.
Okay, if Hallmark is available in your country, I suggest you go use Hallmark. They also have videos. But JibJab allows you to put the face of the person in the video, so it's really, really different.
Great tip.
So this social birthday promotion. Now here's something that's really obvious, hence we have to study it well. It's defining the superfan. So this is, let me go deep into the basis of it. If you do online promotion, you must know who the superfan is. Either you are the superfan, a superfan is a person who buys all your albums if you're a singer, okay, goes to all your concerts, follows you around like a crazy person into your tours. If you cannot be the superfan, like you buy all his books, do you have somebody like that? You buy all his books?
Yeah, and I have a couple of super fans that I can think of right away. That I have two or three people who, every time they meet a client who needs a book in their business, because I'm a publisher, every time I meet somebody who needs a book, they're bringing me these people all the time just because they love what I do. They know I'm going to look after them. And so I literally, get calls from these guys saying, I just met this guy. He's got 20 books that haven't been published yet. Can I hand him over to you? And they're not even asking for anything exchange. They just want to know that I'm going to look after their client. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so these are people who really love you, right? These are the super fans.
And I love them.
If you're promoting yourself, so if you're promoting yourself, you need to know the mindset of the super fan. If you're not yourself the super fan of the other person you're promoting, you have to interview one. So in my case, if you notice in the Jars of Clay, in my concerts, I was super fan for all three artists. So I knew how to behave like a super fan. I didn't have to interview. I have a celebrity client I'm showing you later. I'm a super fan for him. I buy all his stuff, books, CDs, DVDs, I buy all of it. So I know how a super fan behaves. That's very important because, I'll give you an example. I have a client right now, they sell plates of all things. This is retail. They sell nice plates. This is not upscale plates. This is everyday plates. This stuff you eat in the malls. So it's something you think, this is not important for internet marketing, right? Because it's plates.
Sure.
Actually, no. It's very important. Let's take a look. Because they defined the super fan. We did a workshop on this to be a 50-year-old mother. This the real fan or the super fan. This 50-year-old mother is a public school teacher. It's an actual human being, actually. And likes to entertain guests and does home parties. That's why she buys a lot of the plates. And she's been a customer for 20 years, so it's a real super fan, right? 20 years customer, and she's addicted to Angry Birds. She plays Angry Birds and only Angry Birds. And that's how we profile. That's how we profile the super fan. We actually get to know this human being who loves to buy the products of the company, and we find out everything about her. It's very easy to do that if you know the person. If you can't, you just look at the person's Facebook and you know exactly what she likes, right?
Yeah.
Now, this is very contrary to the concept of marketing for companies, because companies would market this way. What is the demographic? Age 16 to 25, working, single. That doesn't work for online marketing because that's a demographic that you cannot pinpoint an interest in, not so much. It's easier to do it online because you can look at the Facebook page of the person and find out exactly what he wants. And the concept it's taken from is something like this. You go to your favorite YouTube and you look for the Objectified Documentary, and there's a concept there taught by Dan Formosa. He's a designer. He says design for the extremes and the middle will take care of itself. So the extreme is a person who buys all your stuff. That's a super fan. And the other extreme is a person who just buys once. So you design your product, you design your marketing, you design everything you do for the extremes. So you pick one. You pick a person who just buys one product. What we normally design for the person who buys everything you sell. This way you don't look at the demographic, 16 to 29 years old. You design for the person who will buy everything. And the concept, this design concept is, it actually works, really. Okay, it's been done to design your cutlery, so that it will not hit the wall when you hang it on the wall, the spoon part. So this design actually really works for online marketing, because if you find a person who's a super fan, who buys all your stuff, or who buys your client's stuff, then you can design everything for him. Let me give you an example. When we ask the person, the woman, the public school teacher, why do you buy our plates? We can ask this person because we know exactly who she is. Okay? She's the mother of one of those people there in that brainstorm. Now, why would you buy a plate, Cydney, for example? Why would you buy a plate?
I would probably buy them because I like the way they look.
Yeah, that's the usual thing, the design, right?
Yeah. The
surprising thing is, the mother said, they're easy to clean.
Oh, okay.
And she's a super fan. This is her motivation. They're easy to clean. So this becomes a basis for everything we do, at least this one answer, for this one product, for everything we do online and offline. So we don't say, oh, it's a designer looks, they're made of this material. Because the super fan said they're easy to clean, we just make a promotion based on that, which me show you an actual ad made by the ad agency for that product. This is an actual ad, believe it or not. And see how consistent it is with a 40-year-old Angry Birds addicted mother. Is it consistent?
Yeah, no. I don't know. I don't know much about Angry Birds. Sorry, I'm going to show my ignorance. I don't know that much about Angry Birds. It seems
Angry
to
Birds
me.
Is a game.
Yeah, it just seems like a disparate mismatch that a 50-year-old mother would be addicted to Angry Birds. Okay, go ahead. I'll let you go with it.
A lot of old people nowadays they love playing this game.
Okay.
On their iPads. My point here is that the client was asking me, can we use this ad? I said, would a 50-year-old mother, school teacher, love this ad?
Oh no,
would it attract?
It doesn't appeal to her.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
No, of course not, right? So this gives you a rule that you shouldn't use this ad, yeah? Because it gives you now a clear vision what the client is. It's not a demographic, it's a person. So you have to design an ad that appeals to that woman, that mother. So it's probably her, somebody who looks just like a 40-year-old public school teacher with an iPad, okay? Or somebody who's entertaining guests in a party.
Yeah.
Okay? Somebody who's about 40-ish, not a boyfriend-girlfriend story like this. So it clears up all the problems of making ads online and offline by knowing who your super fan is. So this is one of the things I do. I determine the super fan.
Yeah, and we even sometimes will actually release our books. Now that you can release books on Amazon really easily and, Kindle and stuff, we'll actually release them with different covers and different names to appeal to different demographics because you can't reach all people with one message.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. So let me show you another example. I have a celebrity client. Are you game for this? I know you love
Yeah. I really want to see this. Yes.
I'm going to show you internally how it works. Now, again, if you're selling something different, because the celebrity client is selling his personality, his products, hear me out first, okay? This is not a celebrity singer, actor, okay? This is a celebrity who's not a singer, actor, okay? I'm not going to tell you who it is because I can't, but I'm going to show you internally how it works inside. So the person has 300,000 plus likes in one account alone. This is one page. He has like 20 pages that I manage for him. So one has 300,000. This is major page. Okay? Here's the social media goals we set for him. When he's not selling anything, we get as much attention as possible from his tribe. His tribe are the followers. Since this is celebrity, there's a follower. If you're a product like a bookstore, you have followers who love to buy books from you. So that's what we define as the tribe. This is a Seth Godin term, right? The tribe.
Yes.
So when you're not selling, because in social media you can't sell all day long, it's not going to work. You have to get as much attention from people. Because when you sell, you want them to pay attention. So this is what we do. We put in the status update, we put something like this, the blog post of the client. He loves to write his own stuff once a week. We put the blog post in. Just a teaser so people will go to the blog. Now that used to be a very powerful driving thing for them. It's no longer true that people in Facebook, they don't really like to read blogs, apparently. Especially if your blog post is long. It's not what they like to do. So we had to add more. So we put inspirational quotes. I actually lifted this idea from Spike Humor. I was listening to him the other day.
Actually, Spike is going to be part of this program too. He's going to do an interview with us as well. So, yeah, we love Spike.
So I was in a program with him several years ago, and he mentioned quotes in passing. He said, yeah, quotes are good. I have to activate my quote machine, whatever the quote machine is. I don't know what it is. I used actually human beings, virtual assistant, to put quotes. Yeah. So inspirational quotes from his favorite authors. So these are the favorite authors of my celebrity client. Tony Robbins, Oprah, Jim Rohn, Zig Ziglar, Dennis Waitley, and stuff like that. So let me show you an actual thing. This is from Louis L. Hay. So the VA just took this quotes and put it into the Facebook page. And remember, I told you he had 300,000 likes. So this 300,000 human beings can possibly see this quote.
Yes.
So how many do you think saw it or liked it? Not saw it, liked it out of 300,000. So here's reality. Put a guess in your mind. You ready with the guess? Here's the answer. Only 3,000 people.
Wow,
Only
3,000
3,000
people is
people said,
amazing, though.
but yes, it's amazing. But if you have 300,000 people and you get only 3,000 people, that's a bad percentage, right? And about
Okay.
780 people sharing it. For the point of view of a big celebrity like that, it's a
Okay.
low number. Actually,
Okay.
it's a low number.
Okay.
64 comments is big, but actually it's a low number, so bad percentage. So quotes work, but not all quotes work.
Okay.
So let me show you the reality. In our reality, Cydney, it's 10 to 20% of your email will open your email. How about you? Mine is 10 to 20% open rates.
Open rates? Are you saying open my emails, or how many do I open?
No, people in my email list, if I have 10,000, only 2,000 will open. The rest will not open the emails.
Yeah, and I
At least
think
after
the
1
bigger
day.
I think the bigger your list gets, the lower your open rate is in reality, because it's just the way it goes. So, I mean, like if you have a
Yeah.
small responsive list of people that know you personally, you're probably going to have a better open rate. But as you start to get
Yes.
more and more, exposure to people who don't know you personally, you'll probably find that your email rate doesn't open as much.
And the reality is, I found out that it's also applicable in Facebook because of the EdgeRank thing that Facebook did. EdgeRank, when you post something in Facebook, not everybody will see it
Yes.
because of EdgeRank. EdgeRank is a technology that Facebook did that determines who your friends are. If you're really close with people, meaning you always like them, you comment with them, they will think that you're close, so they will show your update to those people. But if there are people who never likes you, never comments back, never does anything, like watches your video, eventually they will not see your updates. So only 10 to 20% will see it. So the 300,000 is not real. It's actually 10% of that. So our goal, my goal is to make my business or my client's business improve by increasing the interaction or the likes. The interaction meaning they will comment back, they will like whatever the client will do, my celebrity client. So this is what we do. So this is a quote from Dale Carnegie. Don't read it. Instead of the quote, we also put a picture underneath it. See? So how many likes do you think this one got?
Ooh, I can't wait.
How
to
interactive
see.
was it? So do you get my point? In Facebook, the like is the currency, right? So
Yes.
if you get lots of likes, later on, if you post something for sale, they'll see it. If
Yes.
they don't like it, if you don't do any likes beforehand, before you do the selling, they will not see your selling message. The answer is 3,000 likes. So it's just like the quote with no picture. But it has more shares, 1,000 shares.
Okay.
So this is 77 comments and then 1,000 shares. So it's more impactful to put words and some text, some words, a quote, and some image that the company said. Here's another one. We actually use Pinterest. I told you I'm going to visit this. There's lots of inspirational words in Pinterest, in graphics. So let me show you Pinterest. This is a social network of beautiful photos, so you can get lost in it just clicking the photos that you like. This is what people do in Pinterest. What I do is I go to the search engine of Pinterest. So even if you're not a member, you just go to the search engine there and click on a topic you want to post in Facebook. A topic, let's say thankful. And then when you click on search, you find posters. So all you need to do is get the poster that you like, put it in your Facebook. That's it. And watch what happens to the likes. So this is what we do. We go to Pinterest, we look for creative ways of people make posters and then put in Facebook. So here's the result of that. Yeah, let me show you. So this is, I'll let you read it. Dear God, I want to take a minute not to ask you for anything. Hey, Cydney, you read it.
I want to take a minute not to ask you for anything, but to simply say thank you for all I have.
Okay, guess. How many likes?
Ooh, I bet a lot.
Yeah.
Tell me.
26,000 likes.
Wow.
26,000 likes.
20,000
90,000 shares.
Wow.
And 3,000 comments.
Wow.
Something. They like something. They like this.
Yes.
Are you getting this? All of a sudden, from 3,000, we got 26,000 people paying attention to us because of this thing. So we have to fresh it out. How did it work? So let's try it out. I took the text and I put it in Facebook. Just the text, right?
Yeah.
It's the same text. So what do you think happened? From 26,000,
down to 5,000.
they like the message, but not enough. 5,000
Yes.
likes and 700 shares, and it's not the same league as the 26,000 image.
Wow.
People like this market, this celebrity market that I'm talking about, they like to say thank you to God. And they like to do it in a big way.
Yes. And it looks
They don't
nice
want
because it looks like a big, for the
They don't
people who are
want-
listening to an audio, it looks like a handwritten, it's a beautiful handwritten note, which,
Yes.
and it's big as opposed to just putting it in small copy. And I think if we could just dwell on the edge rank for a minute. So really what you were saying before is that it's important that you get the interaction on Facebook, even if you have a lot of followers or a lot of fans and that kind of thing. If they're not interacting with you, then Facebook won't post your posts as regularly to the fans.
Yes.
So
Yes.
you need to get that interaction going, because then Facebook counts you as relevant and important and interesting.
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, so that's an audio. Sorry, I didn't know there was an audio version. So
Yeah.
So I did an experiment with this text. So the image just looks like text. It's like a poster. There's no picture at all. Just a handwritten note. 26,000 likes, which gives us opening to promote to them in the future, because they did react to us instead of the usual 3,000. So the text just got around 6,000 likes. The text version of the same image. So we also have inspirational talks on TV show, because my celebrity has a TV show, not an actor, by the way. He's a motivational speaker, local motivational speaker. So when we post a video, this is a video, and this is on Facebook, guess how many likes he got? Surprisingly, it's very low.
Very low. Only
Apparently, our crowd on
228.
Facebook, 228 people. You know, this is consistent. Every time we would post a video, and my celebrity has tons of videos, okay? He's a big media person here. He's a best-selling author here. He draws huge crowds. But online and Facebook, it's 200 people all the time when we post a video. So it means people don't like it, the video. It will serve them more, but they don't like it much. Now, so this is the objective. We want to know what messages do the fans like.
Sure, and
Because
give them
the
more
social
of what they like.
Yeah, you give them more of what they like. And apparently they don't like video much.
Okay. But, you know, thank you for
Don't
sharing
do
this.
video.
Jomar, this is fantastic, you know, that you're sharing all this inside knowledge. Thank you so much.
Yeah, because we all think it's all video right today, right? But if your crowd is telling you, like with the likes, that they don't like video, don't do a lot of videos.
Sure.
Okay? Because they don't like it. They prefer other stuff. And they like quotes. They like image quotes. Give it to them. Because it allows you to sell. Now, before you say, how about photos? How about, you know, in Facebook there are personal photos. How does that work? Well, I tried that. This is an image of an event in November this year. Okay? This is an image of a poster of an event this year. So this is save the date. How many likes? 200 likes. They don't like it.
Yeah.
Right? The people out of 300,000. So I tried it again. This is the image of the venue, the same thing. We're doing a save the date thing. So this is the image of the venue, still under construction. How many likes? 800 likes. They prefer this stuff.
Better,
When it comes to announcing stuff, they prefer an actual photograph. Not as good as, 26,000, but they prefer the stuff. This is the save the dates. Announcing this big, by the way, this is like a 20,000 plus venue event that we're promoting for November. And we've been doing this for like 4 years, 5 years. So they like going to the events for my celebrity. They don't like watching videos online, not much. So here's another one. Photo galleries, They always say, in Facebook, you have to have photos, stuff like that, right? And I put a photo gallery of the event, and there you got it. You can see it. 386 people like it.
Huh.
They don't care much for it, right?
Wow.
It's an event that's past. It's a past event. And people in social media, they tell you, hey, you should put photos of your events. apparently they don't really like that. And we're using the Facebook like here as a gauge of the, of how you engage people and how you interact with them, because more interaction would lead to more people listening to your message later. But there it is. 300 people. Goodness. They like quotes better. So let's go to Facebook Insights. This is just quick because we're just looking at likes, and that's not really a determinant of popularity of what you do, because if people click on like, of course it means they like it, but if they just read it, they don't click on like, they're still interacting, right?
Yes.
Or if they play a video, they play the video, but they don't click on like, they're still interacting. That's still a good thing, right? So let's go seriously into the Facebook Insights of this celebrity. Ready?
Yes, thank you.
Good. So you go to admin panel of your Facebook. That's on the upper right hand. It's always there nowadays if you're the admin of the page. And then you read the stuff. And really, I only noticing the only things that's important is blue and green. Okay? Because I'm posting all day long anyway. So that's the bottom. The blue is the total reach, because this is because of the number of likes that increases. I'm still working on people talking about this. People talking about this, that's when you actually make people mention your brand or your celebrity in Facebook. We're not concentrating on people mentioning him yet. We're concentrating on reaching a lot of people, and that's the blue, the total reach. And this is that point there, when it goes up, that's when we started doing images. You see that?
Yes.
Images in quotes, 5 times a day, images and quotes. This is when it went up. Okay? So this is the week before that. See that? The week before that. Though you're looking at a downtrend, you're looking at the second most fast-growing page on the country, in my country. This is the second fastest growing page on the country. So though it looks like a downtrend, because we came from high and we're still high. Okay. So these are where likes came from. Of course, we always work on the blue, keep it there, and make sure that the green is low, but that's just an unlike. That's an unlike. People don't like you anymore.
Okay.
We use an abundance mentality in Facebook, and if people don't like us, we don't really care, because there's a lot more people in Facebook who like us than that don't like us.
There's almost 1 billion people on Facebook, so you can keep finding new
No
audience.
problem.
Yeah.
Keep getting new audiences. Don't stress yourself with the unlikes. Okay, concentrate on the new likes.
Okay.
So this is the same chart. This is not important as much as the next one. Let me show you. This is important. When you page down on the insights, you see that the Dear God reached what? 146,000 people out of the 300,000. Now you get it.
Yes.
So the Dear God is really number one. With a 26,000 like, but 146 people were able to see it, quote unquote, see it. And then the next one, I didn't show you that to you. That's a picture of my client with the family graduating, because it's graduation season in the Philippines. So apparently the people love to see personal photos of my clients,
Okay.
of the celebrity, and with the family. Okay, and the rest, believe it or not, are just quotes from the mentors.
Amazing.
Just quotes. And this is how we keep the people engaged, so that when we sell later, they can see the message.
So,
That's very
Jomar,
important.
the quotes that also ranked very high, were they also in a graphic image, like the Dear God one? Okay.
Yes.
So you found that then specializing in ones that had a nice, appealing graphic image, those ones got shared a lot and commented and liked.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is the new goal. It's really funny that you're goaling for likes and reach, but this is how it works. This is just like copywriting for Facebook,
Yeah.
Find out what works for Facebook. So the effect here, let me show you this effect. Oh, I can't show you the picture, but the effect here is we have a seminar. No, that's not a seminar. It's a big event in Easter, and our venue was 10,000 people. This is usual for us, 10,000 people. And the effect was a happy problem, because we got 13,000 people to show up. They were standing. The back of the room, side of the room, they were standing. We couldn't contain them anymore.
Wow.
And believe it or not, our main campaign happened the week before the event. Just 1 week. just 1 week.
Wow.
Our main campaign is I'm not telling you about the 10,000. I'm telling you about the 13,000. 10,000. I'm kind of sure they're gonna come up anyway. I'm telling you about the increase. This means next year we cannot use this venue anymore. We need a bigger one.
So Jomar, is this is this pretty unusual in the Philippines to get these kind of numbers, or is this a regular occurrence for? I mean, are you just an extraordinary? Are you an extraordinary event filler?
No, that's not me. It's not me. It's me and him, my celebrity and me.
Okay.
This always works for celebrities, by the way. Always
Okay.
works for celebrity. But if the person has somebody like me behind the scenes in their Facebook and stuff, because most celebrities don't know. When I say celebrity, it could be book writer, singer, artist, or anybody who's popular, motivational speaker. You can drive people to attend seminars. But if you have regular things like this one, we do this regularly, you need a presence in Facebook that's as powerful as your seminar. So this is where I come in. We exploit Facebook as much as we can so we can reach out to people and help people before we even do any selling. So you cannot find this kind of experience in the Philippines. It's not common. It's not common.
Okay.
Not at all. Okay? At least when social media is concerned. No. Okay.
But we're actually being approached. We're being approached as part of this program. Some of the celebrities have been saying to us that they're having trouble filling their events in America, and I don't know. I think in Australia it's not so good either. And they've been asking, for experts who can help them get the people into their events, because a lot of the traditional mediums that they used to use, like email, are just not getting opened anymore.
Yeah, that's why, because people are on Facebook. So,
Yeah.
that's why. Even my emails, I have two lists, the Facebook list and my email list, and I update them both. Okay. And it's really growing, you're right, that people aren't paying attention much to their emails nowadays. It's really Facebook. You're super glued to it.
Okay.
So there. That's
Amazing.
of course,
Thank
these
you.
numbers are built. These numbers are built through years. I'm telling you, the 10,000 is not it's not really me. See, this is my client, the 10,000.
Mm-hmm.
Me is the 3,000. Okay, but but let me tell you the actual truth. I've been working with this client since I began, 2005.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I'm kind of like instrumental to his success. Kinda, for the last how many years? 7 years.
I'm sure he would say that. I'm sure he would say you're a big part of his success.
I'm sure, but he was successful before I came into his life 7 years ago. We just made it blow up big online. Everything he did online, I was always there.
Wonderful.
And the funny thing about that relationship, it was a take and take. You know what I mean by take and take? He doesn't give me anything, no information. I figure it out myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You celebrities are really busy, right? They're really busy.
Yes.
So me, I just figure out what he does. I ask him, are you doing this? He says, yes. Okay, I'll promote it. I don't ask his permission. I find out what he does. I promote it. If I think it's sensible to promote, I'll promote it. I just do stuff and I tell him what I did.
So, and that's kind of a system that you're using to teach your students too, is make them go and find their own information.
Yeah. Figure out what your celebrity is doing, and then you make a big thing out of it, because the celebrity is too busy to tell you what they're doing anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I reach out to his friends, because I don't have his pictures, right? I reach out to his friends, they have his pictures. For example, the graduation pictures, I took that from his wife's Facebook. I didn't get it. He's too busy.
Yeah.
That's how you manage a celebrity. You go around their limitations, and But remember, he has his own style of bringing people into events before the internet was done. So getting people to fill up events is easy for him. I just had to amp it up a bit because people are paying attention to Facebook more today.
But I know that this is certainly possible, because I know another guy here in Australia who has been building big lists on Facebook and getting big numbers of people to his events as well. So it's certainly possible to do. It's just a matter of being very strategic, and I really appreciate you sharing this with us so that we can understand the science that goes behind engaging your audience on Facebook.
Yeah, because I wouldn't be able to get that 3,000 in if I didn't do that image thing with the quote thing. Okay.
Yes, if you didn't test and measure.
Yeah, I didn't test and test. That's not the only tests I did. This is stuff I can only tell you because of short time.
Yes.
So let me finalize. You know that now you know what works. Now you don't do it alone by yourself. You use the VAs to do it because they'll repeat. They get codes. We send like what 20 codes a day in one Facebook page. One. How about the rest? We also replicate everything using Hootsuite. So don't do it yourself. Get the VAs to do it for you. So that's why your life can be lived in the way that you like to do it. Okay? So let me just go through some tools. You asked me, please, Jomar, share your tools. You'll find my tools very simple. I don't use any high-tech tools much. So I use one shopping cart for my sales, my email list. I use PayPal to accept payments because I'm restricted to PayPal. I don't have any other system to use in this country. I use HostMonster for some file hosting. I use Ning for several of my membership sites. I use Hootsuite to post scheduled posts in Facebook for clients and myself. I use MindNode to do mind mapping. When you're an iPhone, when you're in the mall and you're thinking about something, I open my iPhone and do mind mapping there while waiting on the cashier's line. I actually mind mapped this yesterday in the cashier's line.
Oh, you did a great job.
In the mall. In the mall. Well, that was the third version already. Okay, the first version were text in Evernote.
Yes.
And I said, let's ditch it. But you gave me an idea what to say, so I mind mapped the new concept, which is this presentation. Okay. And then I use Keynote for my presentations. I use Dropbox because I send huge videos to my VAs, to refine it.
Yeah, we love Dropbox. We use it. I have it with all my book clients and all my VAs and the techies, and it's wonderful. I highly recommend Dropbox.
It's used to send and receive huge files, 2 gigabyte files.
And what's also good about it is I store all the presentations in there, for instance, and then if I should lose a hard drive, it doesn't matter because it's stored at Dropbox in the cloud.
Yes, it's an automatic backup.
Yes.
Exactly. You just save Dropbox and go to sleep.
And how did I learn that? I lost a hard drive.
Oh, okay.
when your hard drive crashes and you've just built the most fabulous presentation and you didn't get a chance to back it up yet? Well, we just save everything straight into Dropbox, and then that way it's automatically backed up. Yes.
You open the file in Dropbox, save it there, and then you continue in another computer. This is what I do.
Yes, you can also share the files. Yeah, you can share them. You can pick them up from all your different computers. I know, it's wonderful.
Yeah, so that's a very essential tool for us. So I use Deliberate to copy from blog to Facebook. Very essential. It also works. There are other systems that we tried. They're not as consistent in copying what the blog contains into Facebook. Deliberate actually works more consistently than, let's say, Hootsuite or some other system.
Okay.
So I use Deliberate. So I put something in the blog and immediately goes to Deliberate. And goes to Facebook or Twitter or something.
Oh,
it also has automation. If you mention the word virtual assistant, it goes to this specific Facebook page. It has some kind of script function, If you mention the word Obama, it goes to your political blog, or it goes to your political Facebook page. So there's an automation part in Deliberate, which is really great. And it's also weirdly free. Okay.
Wow.
It's a very good social media tool, Deliberate. So I use Bitly for shortened links. I have my own branded link called jhilario.com. So I don't use Bitly when I promote. I use my jhilario.com. So any site I want people to go to, I just make them go to jhilario.com. Care of Bitly. So I retain my branding. So I use Google Alerts to make sure that I know what's happening to my clients or myself. Anybody mention me in Google or my client. So this is how I found out about somebody who hates my client. So we addressed that. We did I think a press release based on that hate thing.
Yeah, that's the thing you can address. So for people who might not have heard, because we talk about Google Alerts on quite a few of these interviews, but Google Alerts is just fantastic for free. It's a free tool. You just go into Google Alerts. You set it up for your name, your clients' names, any businesses, your competitors, anybody that you want to keep track of, and topics that you're really interested in, and Google will just send you updates, anything that comes up on the internet about you or whatever your alerts are. So obviously don't set up so many that you can't keep track, but definitely we would say that you should do it for yourself to know what's being said about you. As the example that you've just given, if something comes up that's negative, you can address it very quickly.
Because alerts will surf the internet for you and tell you, oh, this guy's talking bad trash about your client, so you have to do something about it. So that's what we did in the most recent event. Okay, Google Alerts, very good. So I actually use this website. It's not popular, flickrccbluemountains.net. This is where we get our images because their images are already sorted according to beauty. They're legally available Creative Commons images, and they're also nice looking. So I don't go to Flickr to do this. I go to this website. Okay. It also gets the images from Flickr, but they're already sorted according to topic, and they're really nice looking.
Great.
It's very important to use nice looking images that are free. So I don't use stock photography. I use Flickr, Creative Commons, that is sorted in Blue Mountains.
And I've got a little tip on when you're using image sites, and that is you do need to go in and check the terms and conditions because, for instance, we use some images on book covers and we use them on, promotions. You need to make sure that you're within the license agreements of the photo sharing site because they all have different terms of what you can use the images on.
That's true. And in this tool that I'm using, it's all Creative Commons commercial. So I can use them in commercial as long as I cite the owner or the creator of the image. So there's no problem. There's an option there for commercial use. So the only images I use are commercial use images. So I don't run problems with copyright.
Great, thank you.
Another one is Jib. I told you that, which is for birthday greetings and stuff. I use Blogger for blogging. Surprise! I don't use WordPress. I use WordPress only.
Do you want to tell us more?
It's for beginners. They can afford Blogger. It's free, and they can sell in Blogger. When I teach beginners on how to earn money on the internet, I can't tell them to go to WordPress because they have to pay, and they're so scared of paying, in the internet. So I have to tell them to use Blogger first, but only for people who want to earn online as an online marketers, but for virtual assistants, they have to use WordPress.
Yes.
But you see, I don't teach them WordPress. I tell them to self-study WordPress. That's why when you hire them, they're already good because they had to self-study WordPress on their own. I don't have to tell them how to do it because if they can't figure it out, they cannot be a VA. So that's why I use Blogger. There. Okay. So let me end. So the question goes that, am I living the E-Myth-proof life? Meaning Michael Gerber's concept of the E-Myth, wherein you have systems running that you're not needed in your company, right? That's what they call it. And the other question is, am I living the 4-hour work week? Because I started with Tim Ferriss, right? The answer is actually yes, yes, but not perfectly. Not perfectly, of course. We're always on the path to improvement. And yes, I do create systems. My tips aren't over yet. I'm about to end though. I do create systems. I do it every day, meaning a system is something that you don't need to do it again because the instructions are all there. Just show the new person what the old systems that you did, the old instructions. So my systems are far from perfect. However, I've had many VAs in the past. They've resigned, I fired them, and I've changed people. Some VAs will work for me for 2 years and then leave. So I have systems that enable new people to come work for me quickly. So I'm going to show you how that works. Okay, here's maybe my final tip. If you're building a system, meaning instructions for a new virtual assistant, okay, then you're telling him, this is how you make a presentation for me, blah, blah, blah. So you write that in an email, right, Cydney? Mm-hmm. You put that in an email, and then you forget about it. And then the only other person who has it is your virtual assistant, who then resigns after 1 year. Now, what do you do with the new person? Oh, you look for that email, right?
Yes.
And then you send it to him again, right?
Yeah.
So don't do that. What you do is you put all critical instructions into a private posthumous blog. This is easier than it sounds like. Whenever you send an email to the assistant that contains critical business instructions, you copy this address under that address, post@posthumous.com. It will quickly create a blog for you, a quick blog that you didn't even go to Posthumous to register for. You just copy it there. It will now build a blog full of instructions for your VAs, but nobody knows about. You don't even know the name of your blog because you haven't even claimed the blog for you. But anyway, you now have a blog containing all critical instructions. And when you're turning over to a new VA, you just claim your blog in Posthumous. It contains all your critical instructions, including videos and images. Attach a video, attach an image to your email. Posthumous will convert it into a video player. Attach an MP3. Posthumous will convert it into a MP3 player. You get me?
Yeah.
It's an email attachment. It's an email attachment, but it goes to a blog that has a player. So all the VA needs to do is click play. Awesome, right?
Yeah, that's a great tip. So obviously you find out what the name of it is once you've, I mean, you said that you won't even know the name of your blog, but at some point it must tell you.
Yeah, when you send an email first, for the very first time, it's going to ask you to claim your blog. So go ahead and claim it and give it a name. Okay?
Okay.
Just give it a name. And then, you remember the name of your blog, okay? It will not be public to anybody. You can set it up to be a private blog. Nobody will see it.
Great.
By default, it's not a private blog, but nobody knows it exists, so it's essentially private. So to prevent people from searching for it, you just make it private in Posthumous.
Wonderful.
And then you're done.
Well, thank you. Great tip. That's such a good idea. Yeah. I did work for one company where we had a very big event company, and we had like our own Wikipedia, which you can do that. You can sort of set up a membership site or use one of the wiki softwares and same sort of thing. But I love your idea. So basically every time somebody in the company has to set up a training, you get them to post it in this Wikipedia or in this training site, and then it's all stored there for everyone every time they need to use it. So I love that. Thank you.
This one is as you go. I told you it's not perfect, but it's as you go procedures. If they don't know what to do, just go to the blog, do a search in the blog. Oh, this is how Jomar wants the presentations to look like, blah, blah, blah. And there's a sample there. There. So now I'll end with a statement from Gary Vaynerchuk, and it's not that great. And he says, when you do social media, you have to do it all yourself. Burn your eyebrows, work at night, answer everything. Do it all personally. Now, that's not realistic, because if you're really saying, the venue for my seminar is this, the venue for my seminar is this, there's no value in you doing it, right?
Yeah.
So you get a VA to do it. If you're going to repeat yourself all the time, just get a VA to say it. You say it once, and he says it. He closes properly. And then just properly orient your team how so they would think like you do, by send them ebooks, send them to videos online so they can think like you do, to behave like you are. You're not going to pretend. They're not going to pretend to be you. I don't do that. My VAs will say, I'm the VA of Jomar.
Yes.
There's no pretense.
Can I just ask you, when you were saying get them to, you've trained all your VAs to close, do you mean close as in selling every time you do communication? Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So you don't just
Even
mean like signature. You don't mean like close with a nice signature. You mean actually, you've actually trained them to be selling every time, always. And how do you do that? Can you just give us a tip on that?
Oh, just end your email with what I want them to do, like end with a link. It would be great to see you at the seminar. Click on this link to register. Then there's a link. Don't end with thank you for your email. And this is normally a PS, by the way. Their name, then PS. It would be great to see you in the seminar, blah, blah, blah. You will learn a lot in the seminar. Click this link. They always end that way. It's in the signature.
never lose an opportunity. Don't waste an opportunity to let people know about the great value you're providing.
Yes, and sometimes it's not a paid seminar. I would say, PS, we have a webinar this Wednesday. It would be great for you to join. Register for free here. That's how they end any emails or any Facebook messages that they get.
Great.
How they
Thank
end
you.
it.
Thank you.
So let me check this. So what I do personally, you're gonna ask me. I'm going over time. I'm sorry. So
I hope everyone who's on this this webinar will understand that we just want to deliver them the best value, and I'm not worrying too much about it, being right on time, because we only get this opportunity to talk very rarely, and we want to make sure that we pack in as much value for them as possible. So thank you so much for doing that.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm ending, but there's still some stuff. So you're also going to be curious. So Jomar, if you outsource everything, what do you do, right?
Yes.
You showed me a picture of you taking care of your kids, right? So I actually do this. I make my daily newsletter messages. They're almost daily, but I don't post them. I make the message for the day, if there is one, just not all the time. By the way, don't follow this. It doesn't work for everyone. Daily newsletter emails does not work for 99% of you guys. It works for me because I've trained everybody to expect an email from me every day. And I have very low unsubscribe rates, very low. They collect my emails, they read it when they're off, and they tell me that. So don't do this. Okay? Don't do daily emails. But I do it and I don't email it. I send it to my VA. They do the autoresponder thingy. They send my daily emails. That's essentially my task every day. Create a newsletter message, which is essentially a story of what I did earlier that day or something. Okay, so I keep people engaged by telling them about my day, my life, things I think about. This movie that Seth Godin showed about this arcade made by anything I experienced previously, I just tell it in the newsletter. Okay? So I also do this. I read all the emails of people who answered any direct questions I ask. Because sometimes I make a newsletter that asks questions. That's the only point of the newsletter message in my email. I ask a question, and they will all answer. And I would get like 2,000 answers, and I will read them all. Because I need to understand what the client needs, all of them. And I actually collect all the emails in Evernote, for my note-taking, so I have a reference for what kind of words should I use in my next sales message. These are the words that my clients use. I actually lift the text from the emails directly into my sales letters.
Brilliant.
Or my messages. Yeah. So because, again, obvious, what your client says, you use it. Yeah, that's it. So what am I doing to enjoy life? I'm asking myself this question. Can you ask me this question, Cydney?
Jomar, you work so hard. What are you doing with your time to enjoy life?
Yes, thank you. My goal is to make an impact in my personal project. So if you have a business and you're like super rich, but you also don't have time, maybe your goal should be making an impact in your personal projects, people you care deeply about, I don't know what you like as a person or love, but I'm sure it's not just making money, You make money because you just want to touch the money. Of course not. You want to spend it on something, or you want to accomplish something creative. So that's what I do.
Like for me, if I can interrupt, sorry. What I do with every one of my book projects, I like to feature, I'm really passionate about microeconomic lending, which is where people can donate a small amount of money that helps business people in other countries, start businesses. Like $20 can start a business for someone in a very poor country. So so what I like to do is I like to feature in every one of my projects a really great organization that's doing brilliant work, and then I get to feel passionate because I know that at the end of all this work we're going to be able to really make an impact, because I like to feel like it's been worthwhile. It's not just about money. It's like I rarely get paid for these things. It's mainly about just feeling like my life mattered and I made a difference. So what about you?
So that's the same thing with me, personal projects. But mine is really very simple, okay? It's not as global spanning as yours. Okay. It's personal relationships. My family, I'm growing a small family of 3. It's pretty small. And I'm actually newlywed, 3 years.
Oh, congratulations.
So 3 children, 1 year, 1 child. So we're just getting to know each other, all of us, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I need a lot of time to do that, and believe it or not, I don't really know my wife that well, not in the certain kind of level that we've known each other for 13 years, but I don't think there's still a lot of depth to be explored in my relationship with my wife.
Yes.
So that's one important thing for me. I told you it's not global. Okay? My global personal project is actually to, you see there are about 10 plus million Filipinos around the world working and destroying their families. They're working around the world. They left their families and they're destroying their families. So my personal project is to wake them up, tell them to come home, or bring their family with them, earn another currency, like become a virtual assistant, so that they don't sacrifice their life, their entire family, just for money. And believe it or not, a lot of people who graduate from this country, and we have a lot of graduates, they would love to get out of the country and leave their families behind, just for the dollars.
Yes.
Wherein they can actually get the dollars here, wherever they are, becoming a virtual assistant or an outsourcer. So that's my main project.
And I think that's pretty, I know the impact of what you're doing, and I think that's pretty globally important too, because having been over to the Philippines and met with a lot of my team, it's like they get married quite young and then they have babies right away because it's Catholic, and then the husbands quite often have to leave and they have to go overseas to work because of the just the economics. So I think what you're doing.
It's the females. It's the females who leave now.
Okay. Yes. Sorry.
Weird, no?
Yes. So what, they're going to do service jobs and that kind of thing in other countries?
Yes.
Yeah.
Service jobs. Sometimes professional jobs like architects and construction stuff, or programmers. A lot of them. But they all have this huge problem with loneliness, culture shock, and not being in that culture. And not only that, they lose everybody. They lose all their friends. All of the intimacy is gone. Yeah. And the family just gets destroyed. That's why. So that's my personal project. Make this as big as possible, and at the same time, help entrepreneurs like the people listening to use these people. They work from home. They're really smart. They've proven that they're really smart. They can make a big impact in your business.
That's right.
Win, 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 win. Right? It's all win, win, win. So let me just. I haven't ended again. Before I would take a vacation every 2 months when I was still working. Now I would take a vacation every month, sometimes twice a month. Like last week I was on vacation. Next week I'm on vacation again. And I'm not going away from something, a vacation. My vacation is getting new experiences, experiencing new places, new food with my family. So that's what I do. Okay? So I'm not lying to you when I say, telling you it's really not hard work. Literally, because most of the hard work is already outsourced for me.
Yes.
Most of my hard work is thinking, thinking, what am I going to write? Most of the click there is done by the VA. Makes a very sensible business model, I think. Okay? So I can form stronger bonds with my loved ones too. And that's why I have an outsourced business that you guys should also do. So
yeah, because as you lay the foundations, like you spent a lot of years laying the foundations, and now you're able to really enjoy the benefits. And that's what I found too. I have some wonderful staff in the Philippines. I have to say hello to Ruben and Jim Dell, my lovely boys in the Philippines. And they work really hard, and they do a great job for me. And they're actually pretty well trained now. We spent a few months getting them trained up, and now they know pretty much what I want. Same thing you said. Once you get to that level, you don't have to manage them to the same rate anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of things happen without me worrying about it.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yep.
And then you're growing. Because when you're growing, you need to get more people. So you just get more people. Well,
yes, I've been talking to you. I definitely want to hire some of your graduates because I think they sound fantastic. So I'll be growing my team.
That's great. So that ends my short thingy today. And if you want to learn more, you can just follow me in my blog. In Facebook, I'm going to talk about work from home most of the time. So it might not work for you, but you can just connect with me on Facebook if you want. Or go to socialsuperstarsecrets.com/Jomar. If I'm going to redirect that to wherever I want. I think it's more appropriate for you to go. Okay? Because you might say, Jomar, you're always talking about work from home in your blog. Yes, okay? Because I don't do this primarily for entrepreneurs. I do it primarily for Filipinos to become outsourcers.
Yeah.
So that's...
But we also might have, I think we've also got a fairly big audience of people who are interested in becoming, social media consultants and taking on, there's a lot of people in America now that have approached me because they just need more cash. It's happening everywhere that people are starting to work from home.
Well, that's good. So yes, that's right. If you want to become a social media consultant, that's the right place to go.
Great.
There. Okay.
Well, Jomar, thank you so much for sharing so generously with us, and I really appreciate you making the time. We had to really mess around with schedules, and we got him here, so thank you. And definitely, everybody go to Jomar's Facebook page and check him out and see. It's a good idea to follow the expert.
Just search for me on Facebook. Yeah.
Pardon?
Sorry, just search for me on Facebook.
That's right. And get on board and start watching how Jomar posts, because you can learn a lot from watching the experts. So thank you again, and I look forward to talking to you very soon. And thanks everyone for joining us. Definitely go and check out Jomar's social superstarsecrets.com/Jomar page, and we'll have a tempting offer up there for you, whatever's relevant when you're watching this. So thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Cydney.
Bye,
Happy birthday. Bye.
Thank you.